the Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.
Hi, I'm Cherry Johnson with Watauga County Arts Council. Welcome to 2015 with Watauga County Arts. There's just so much that's been going on in 2014, and 15 is going to be even bigger and better. I want to introduce you to our first exhibit of the new year. This is Susan Marlowe. Susan, if you know her work, you probably want to think cows, because Susan for many years focused mostly on cows. That was a topic that you loved to explore. And you and I were just chatting a while ago, and you were telling me about how in the world you got focused on cows in the first place. Tell me about that story again, about the cows outside your studio.
I lived on a farm outside of Lexington, Kentucky, and there were cows. I lived on an old inactive horse farm, and there were cows on it, and they would just come out and stare at me like cows do. So I started painting them.
You figured turnabout was fair play?
Right. Well, I just was pretty fascinated by how cows look and their shape and their presence and their sort of mellowness.
Right.
Calmness. Yeah.
And so she's done a lot of cows, not all very calm cows, though. You've got some really cool cows in your history.
Yeah, some of my cows are kind of lively.
Yep, they are dancing around and sitting in hot tubs having drinks and all kinds of fun stuff. Sitting at tables, I remember one that
having tea.
Yep. So you just never know what cows might do. But Susan has a kind of a mixed history. You were an art major in college. Tell me about that. Where'd you go to college?
University of Kentucky, and I majored in sculpture. I was afraid to paint at the time, so.
So what kind of sculpture did you do?
Just everything, yeah.
Just anything with sculpture?
Yep.
And you didn't like painting?
Well, I was sort of afraid of painting, and it was, in a classroom, and I needed to be by myself to explore painting, so that happened after I graduated.
All right, so then what happened after graduation?
Well, then I started painting, and I experienced being a starving artist, and I went into nursing.
And so now in nursing, what is it you do?
I'm a care manager.
So you oversee
nurses.
Is it what?
Care manager for a program called Access Care, and I've got other care managers working with me, and we work 4 counties.
Okay,
Blue Ridge. That's
really cool. So most you and I were talking a little bit about the potential links between those two aspects of your life, between arts and the healing aspects, and the future that we hope we will see in Watauga County.
Healing arts.
Yes. Not just in the therapeutic only, but also in just enhancing the healing environment with the arts. You've already done some of that. You've got at Blue Ridge Pediatrics, you've got an exhibit of some of your work, and it's something that we're going to get to experience at Blue Ridge Art Space.
That's right. I have a series called Alphabet Blocks, and it's currently hanging at Blue Ridge Pediatrics, and we're going to move it over to the show, for the show.
And how did these come about?
Well, I have 2 grandsons in New Zealand, and they needed some art on their walls, and since it's so hard to get a big painting over to New Zealand, I did a series of 10-inch square paintings, alphabet blocks, and so they were all brightly colored letters, and then animals, mostly animals that correspond to the letter. So I've been doing that series, and I do prints of those and personalize them for if somebody wants it personalized.
That's cool. And we've got a few of those in our gift shop already.
Yep.
Have you done greeting cards with those yet?
I have not, but I can.
Okay.
I will.
That's a great idea.
I can, I will.
Because we have a lot of her greeting cards in our gift shop, and they sell pretty steadily. Most of them have the cows on them, but I think that this could expand quite broadly into some other things.
Right.
Now, you took the alphabet block idea and you sort of took it a new direction with the next block that's next to it.
Well, I did another series called The Painted Stitch because I love quilts, but I don't love to sew. I do love to paint. So this is an example of the painted stitch. So it's just like a quilt square that's actually painted and the stitches are painted.
Now, are they all on black?
No.
Okay.
No,
so it's all different
not.
colors.
Yep. Yep, just this one actually. So
That's interesting. Now, I guess the star piece for this exhibit is a project you worked on a couple of years ago. In 2012, a book was published, and you were the illustrator of this book. And you've probably seen this book around town. It's called Goodnight Boone, and it's written by Melanie Green, Michelle Bolick, and Blair Proffitt, but it's illustrated by Susan Marlowe. And so all of the pieces that you painted to create this book are going to be in our show.
yeah, they'll be exhibited, the originals.
Okay, now this is, I love the way that you've taken, for example, if you get up close and look at this, Grandfather Mountain, for example. Talk about that.
Well, I love to personalize Grandfather Mountain, and so I just accentuate how it looks like a person, accentuate the features of the face so that it looks like a sleeping grandfather. And so it's actually the same scene in every painting, but they're in different seasons. And they have different, subjects in front of them according to what the authors wrote.
But
it's the background of each one.
So we see the same Grandfather Mountain done different ways.
Yeah, you see Grandfather Mountain in every one. It's the same scene, and they're different seasons. Okay,
now in the first one we see our dear friend Cheap Joe, and I should mention that because Cheap Joe's sponsors all of our gallery exhibits, so he's sponsoring you, and here you are featuring him.
Well, and he was kind enough to let us also insert his painting in the first page and the last page too. So he selected those paintings that he wanted to be in there. So it does start and end with Cheap Joe.
That's great. And then in between, you have several recognizable scenes and also people in our community all through this book. If you go through it, just really talks about our local community, and I think that's so cool. Yeah. Now, who hatched this idea in the first place?
Michelle and Blair had the idea, and then Melanie helped write it, and they asked me to illustrate it. And I'm pretty sure Michelle will be there for the reception, and we'll have the books for sale as well. I've made prints and cards of these as well.
And we've had these books in our gift shop for a little while too. We've sold some of them that way as well. So these will be available for you. And then you said something about ordering?
Yeah, you can also order any of these. You can order.
Okay, including the prints and all of that kind of thing. That's cool. And is this one of the pieces that'll be on the walls?
Yeah, well, that's the painting. Well, that's actually a print of the painting of Doc Watson. And I have the original as well. But this was painted right exactly before he actually passed on, which is kind of interesting because it has a very ethereal look to it, but I didn't know at the time
that he was going to pass away.
Right.
So, how interesting. Right. And also I should mention that this is an award-winning book. Now, the award that I have here with me right now is to you, to you for the Paul Green Multimedia Award for illustrations in a children's book entitled Goodnight Boone. And we were looking up Paul Green, and he is a marketing guru, kind of. Everybody talks about Paul Green having all the marketing experience and having written big books on marketing and so forth. So this is an award that the North Carolina Society of Historians gave to you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I understand that the girls that wrote the text also received a somewhat similar award, right?
For the writing, yes.
Right. So that's, being a multimedia award, that makes a lot of sense. So.
Right.
And that brings up a point, too, is that the Arts Council, obviously, painting is a big part of what we celebrate. And we also celebrate every kind of art, including writing, including music, including a lot of things. So I think a lot of folks don't always think of writing as an art form, but it is. It's a very important art form.
Right.
So,
exactly.
So we're delighted to see collaboration between artists of different medias.
Right.
So, now you have a chance to come and visit with Susan, and which one of the authors did you say was going to be there?
I think Michelle. And maybe Melanie. I'm not sure. I haven't heard from her.
A chance to come and find out where they came from, where they got their ideas.
Meet the authors.
And so have an opportunity to come and interact with them on the 10th, which is a Saturday, second Saturday in January. Boy, am I thinking ahead of the season. And it will be from 5:30 to 7:30, and we will look forward to welcoming you not only to see Susan's wonderful exhibit, but also to enjoy another exhibit by Randy Rogers. You'll also get to see work in our senior gallery and our children's gallery. And you'll get to explore with artists different art forms where they are creating their art, and you get a chance to kind of watch and hang out and check out what they're doing. So it's a great event. It's a free event where we celebrate the arts once a month, every month on the second Saturday. So I encourage you to come meet us and get involved with it. Also, you'll have an opportunity at that at that reception to also sign up for workshops. I'm getting my words backwards, but you'll be able to sign up to learn how to do a lot of these things yourself and to get immersed in the arts, not just to appreciate them and to purchase them and enjoy them, but also to try your own hand. So it's a great chance to get into things. Susan, thank you so much for helping us out by having this fabulous exhibit. I love the color and the life and the energy of this, especially in a month like January. I think it's just perfect.
Right.
So no particular snow scenes in it. It's just all about fun and excitement and life, you know, in general. So you have a very uplifting approach to your art, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So. Come and enjoy Susan's work and get a chance to meet her and get to know her better. And check our website, watauga-arts.org, to learn much more about this. You'll see all the details about this as well, and to learn all about the arts in Watauga County.
Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.